You know what we haven't done in a while on this channel is to go through a comment and make a whole video about it and then psychoanalyze it. We haven't done that in a while, so this is the perfect entry to do this. And right before I shot this video, I did one on Go Fiber. So if my hair looks a little bit better than normal, there you go. I made a video and it was called, "Do I have the right to worry about hair loss? Age 37, married, 2 kids." Here was a comment I got. Quote, "You have no right to worry about hair loss, in my opinion. Look at how your life trajectory has been affected or not by hair loss." He goes on to say, "People who have a right to worry about their hair loss, ages 25 to 29 and are Norwood 5 or beyond, impossible to get married or have children due to aggressive hair loss. No sense of purpose or hope for the future because the hair loss and its effects just get worse every day." End quote. Did you take all that in? That's some heavy stuff there. So what is being proposed here is if you're in the age bracket of age 25 to 29 and you're Norwood 5 or worse, virtually meaning you barely got anything really up here anymore. And I'm going to quote it. I'm not making this up. Quote, "It is impossible to get married or have children due to aggressive hair loss, no sense of purpose or hope for the future because the hair loss and its effects just get worse every day." So I make this video to share with the rest of you, to let you be the judge. Do you agree with that statement? Now here's the problem with me. As we all know, as I announced this week officially, I completely am owning up to the fact that as a host of a channel with so many subscribers, a channel about hair loss, I'll never be able to really fully relate to those of you who have got less hair than me and are younger. I'll never know what it's like to be balding in my 20s. I was Norwood 2 in my 20s. So I'll never know that. So when I read this comment, I have opinions, I have thoughts, but aren't they basically void at this point? Any reaction I have to this, isn't it just in vain? Because ultimately, do I lose my credibility because of the fact of me being 37 and having this much hair? Granted, I just dusted on some Go Fiber, like I mentioned. But now I'll insert my opinion. Doesn't that seem a little extreme to say that if you're in your mid to late 30s in Norwood 5, and I'm gonna say it again, quote, "Impossible to get married or have children, no sense of purpose or hope for the future." I just want to, are there people out there who agree with this statement? I mean, doesn't that sound a bit extreme? I'm reading this word for word, the comment on there. So, right, that is very extreme, right? See, it's funny because my whole vision for this channel is, despite the fact that I can never understand what it's like to go bald in my 20s, my whole agenda is to give people hope anyway. And so it's interesting because if I adopted that message, imagine me making a video saying, you know what guys, if you're in your 20s and you're Norwood 5, no one's gonna mate with you. You cannot get married, no one will have kids with you, there's just no hope. Imagine how many subscribers I would have if I said that. Now, what would that be? Is it false hope though, that I'm saying the opposite of what's in the comment there? And the bigger picture I see in this is, it's easy to believe that if that's you. If you're in that demographic, you're in your 20s and you're Norwood 5, it's easy to believe that there's no hope. It's easy to believe that no one's gonna marry you and you can't have kids. That it's easy to believe that if that's the box that you live in. But I guess if I had a counterpoint to that doesn't involve me, because right, I have no credibility because I'm 37 and still have this much hair. So I have zero credibility. But my rebuttal to that is this. We would have to ask a question then. Are there men who have been married in their 20s who were Norwood 5 or worse at the time, and they got married and they had kids? Do they exist? By chance, out of the 4,500 people that subscribe to this channel, Could anybody relate to that and say, you know what, Nick? Actually, I was Norwood 5 or worse in my 20s, and someone still was willing to marry me and breed with me, and now we actually have a family. It's just an interesting concept. So I'm not saying that this isn't someone's reality in their mind, but I have a lot of trouble accepting that as truth for the rest of us. I think that seems extreme. But again, I have zero credibility because I'll never know what it's like to be Norwood 5 in my 20s. I'll never know that. So because I have zero credibility as a speaker on this subject, all I can do is, now that I've quoted that comment 3 times, I want all of you to decide in the comments if that's a valid statement. So just to summarize, now that I've quoted it 3 times, if you're in your 20s and you're Norwood 5 or worse, there's basically no hope, no one's gonna marry you, and no one's gonna have kids with you. And really the way I see it is there anybody out there watching this video who got married in their 20s, was Norwood 5 or worse, and had kids? Now here's the little secret. I know lots of men who fit that description. But again, don't I lose all credibility because I'll never be able to relate. I'll never know the pain of what it's like to go bald in my 20s. Okay, well, I'll let you all sort that out right here.